stream.
Okay.
Okay. Hi everyone. We're here today with Alexandra Brown, and she's a third-year dental student.
Wait,
So
Amita, don't start it. Just give it a sec.
just let me know when to start.
I'll start it. I'll start it.
Okay. Hi everyone. Welcome to our third meeting. We're here today with Alexandra Brown, and she's a third-year dental student. And if you have any questions during the presentation, please put them in the YouTube live chat, and we'll go over them after the presentation's over. Alexandra, you may start whenever you're ready.
Okay. Thank you for that introduction. So as she said, I am Alexandra Brown. I'm a third-year dental student at Howard University, and that's located in Washington, D.C. And just to give you some background, Howard University is an HBCU, which is a historically Black college and university, and it's one of the oldest dental schools in the nation, founded in 1867. So I'm very proud to be a Bison, just like our current vice president. And today I'm going to present to you guys my tenure plan. This is something that I completed for a project at my school. So I kind of tailored it a little bit and edited it and removed a few things so that I can tailor more towards you guys. But I think it's really important for everyone to have a 10-year plan, or maybe a vision board, just something like concrete that you can look at your future goals. It's better to have it written down because it's important to move with intention throughout your life. So this is something that helps keep me organized and helps keep me motivated. Okay. This is the table of contents. I'm going to go through my mission, vision, my curriculum vitae, which is just an extended version of your resume, my personal statement, a SWOT analysis, and my 10-year timeline. Okay, so my mission and vision is just a way for me to give you a little bit of information about myself. My mission is to provide my patients with exceptional dental experience where they're comfortable receiving comprehensive care and prevention education that reduces their chance of dental problems as we find a solution for their dental issues. I aspire to inspire others to take control of their health as well as help instill confidence in my patients as they fall in love with their smiles. Okay, and my vision is to provide a safe space for patients as I serve their dental needs, to foster healthy and prosperous relationships between myself and my colleagues, to build a presence in the community based on service and mentorship. Excuse the typo. But yes, mission and visions are just as important as having the 10-year plan so that you can have something driving your life and your career. Like I said, you constantly want to be moving with intention. You don't want to look back on your life and have any regrets like, oh, I should have been doing this or I should have been doing that. So this kind of helps. Well, it helps me. Okay. And this is my curriculum vitae. I had never heard of curriculum vitae until I got to dental school, actually. You guys might have know more than me. But it is your resume, except for a resume, you want to keep your resume to 1 page, while your curriculum vitae can be up to 3 pages, I've heard is appropriate. So on here, I have my educational background. I went to University of Central Florida in Orlando. I completed my bachelor's degree in health sciences preclinical. And now I'm in my 4-year program at Howard University at the College of Dentistry. For my leadership, I am very involved on campus. As you can see, it's almost a page full of leadership experience. For me personally, I feel more balanced when I'm not just doing schoolwork. So maybe other people that have talked to you that were in dental school say that they just focus on, being in their classes and keeping their grades up because dental school is very rigorous. It's hard to find time to be in leaderships, but for some reason for me, I need both in order to stay balanced. So some of the things I'm involved in is I'm on the student interview committee for our school. So I interview incoming potential dental students that want to come to Howard. I am the events coordinator for an organization called the American Association of Women Dentists. I'm also on the national board for Student National Dental Association. And there's a bunch of things that I do. but I love them all equally. Community service is very important to put on your application as well, and your honors and awards. I have professional affiliations on here, and then I have my work experience. I was a business assistant, or basically like a receptionist, at a dental office because I took a year off between undergrad and dental school. So that's what I did in the time period in between. But yes, so this is my CV. I would say it's important to keep track and keep your CV updated constantly, because it's easy to forget the things that you do. I'm sure there's community service I've done that I don't have on here because I might not have been writing it down along the way. So it's really important to keep your CV up to date. And that's not just for dental school, that's for you guys now when you're going to be applying to college. Okay, next is personal statement. So this is my dental school personal statement. You also have to do, I'm sure you guys know, you have to do personal statements to get into college as well. So there's no right or wrong as when you're writing your personal statement. It's really just about being genuine, being yourself, writing about yourself and your experiences. So I would say for dental school, you want to write about why dentistry. That's pretty much what people want to know, or anything that your application doesn't say about yourself that you want the interviewers to know. Like, they want to know that you're a real person. So if you want to write about maybe a family member who had dental work, or you had dental work, or a dentist that inspired you, or a community service you went to, or a shadowing experience that inspired you, that impacted you to make you passionate about dentistry, that's what you're writing about. They just want to see, like, this is really what you want to do and you're passionate about it. So I would just keep that in mind. Keep it in mind, because you're not going to have to write it anytime soon. But like I said, just keep it in the back of your head. Okay, so this is my personal SWOT analysis. SWOT, SWOT, stands for strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. So it's important to be self-aware of your strengths and weaknesses. Not only are they going to ask you on your interviews for college and dental school, but it's just important for you to know so that you can constantly be growing. So these are some of the strengths. I consider these as some of my strengths. And you want your strengths to be tailored towards the career that you're going to be pursuing. So if you tell the interviewers, like, your strength is cheerleading, like, how is that going to help you in dental school? So if you find a way to correlate cheerleading and dental, then go ahead and say it. But that's my point, is just make sure that your strengths are relevant to what you're going to be doing. So some of my strengths are leadership, organizational skills. I consider myself to be very empathetic, creative, good at time management, and very balanced. So in all of those, if you ask me to, I can correlate to dentistry and treating patients. And then for weaknesses, you want to be able to articulate your weaknesses, but also explain why or how you're working on them. So if you can say, I have an issue with overscheduling myself. So I work on this by making sure that I keep a planner, I keep track, I keep a Google Calendar. So if you have a weakness, make sure that you're able to explain how you're working on it. And you should be working on your weaknesses always. So it's just an important note. Okay, so this is what I think that you guys could do to help make yourself a more well-rounded applicant when you're applying for dentistry, or really any program, or for college. So overall GPA as well as science GPA is very important. And I wouldn't say it's a standalone factor, because you might be worried, like, oh, I have a 3.0 or I have a 2.5 or whatever it may be. And maybe you feel like that's low for the school that you're applying to. You shouldn't worry, or you shouldn't put yourself down for that, because there's still a chance you're going to get in based on all these other criteria, because they're all important. So maybe you say your GPA is a little bit lower but you are super involved on campus. You have a bunch of leadership roles. You're president of this, you're secretary of that. That's going to show a lot. And then also shadowing experience and job experience. That's important to have on your resume. as well as going on mission trips and doing community service. And then for dental school, you have to take the DAT, which is a standardized test. That's kind of like the SAT that you guys take, or the ACT. And that's just another way to see that you're ready for dental school, because dental school is very rigorous, especially the first 2 years, which are the didactic portions. So they want to see that you have a strong foundation in the sciences and reading and math. So that's what you do. You take your DAT, and I believe the average DAT score is 16, and a really competitive score is probably above 19, 20. So yes, and then you want to have a lot of honors and awards. Like I said, it makes you look like a well-rounded applicant, because grades aren't everything. Because, as a dentist, you're interacting with patients every day. So they want people that are personable, that are leaders, that care about the community. So all of these things are equally important, in my opinion. Okay, this was just part of my 10-year plan. I just wrote about threats to, I guess, achieving my goals. So some things that I consider are loans. For me, at my school, it's $300,000 to get through dental school. So I am in a lot of debt. So loan repayment and money management is something that's really important as you're going through dental school or any professional program. It feels like you're rich when all your loan money drops into your account, but it's not your real money. So you have to pay it back eventually. So that's just something to keep in mind, money management. Another thing that's a threat for me is matching into a residency program. So after you finish 4 years of college, you do your 4 years of dental school. And then after that, you apply for a residency. There's 11 different specialties in dentistry, and I specifically want to apply for an orthodontic program, and they're very competitive. So that's just something that I worry about, I guess, is matching into a program. Also maintaining proper lifestyle while balancing the workload. Like I said, the first 2 years of dental school are very rigorous. It's really hard to maintain friendships and social life while trying to keep your grades up. So that's something. Oh, and also working out, eating healthy, just taking care of yourself is all difficult while you're trying to balance dental school. So that's something that I'm constantly working on. I would just say everybody should have an outlet as they're going through school. If it's working out, doing yoga, cooking, hanging out with your friends, watching Netflix, whatever it is, everybody should have an outlet, something that makes them feel relaxed when they're going through stressful times, because school is very stressful. And then also fulfilling graduation requirements is a threat for me, especially during COVID, when we don't have as many patients and there's restrictions on the amount of people that can be on campus at a time. So there's a certain amount of cleanings and restorations and extractions that I need to do in order to graduate and be a competent dentist. So it is a little bit difficult to do that during these times, but it's possible. Okay. So this is my 10-year timeline. I am in my 3rd year, so I've already completed D1 and D2 year. This is just a quick overview of the next slides to come. So D1 year, I attached the schedule for D1 year. But first I want to say that the most important thing for me was to get acclimated into the new city that I moved to. I'm from Florida, so I'm from the South. I guess some people call it the South. It's geographically located in the South. And then I moved to DC. So that was a huge culture shock for me in regards to being away from all my friends and my family, getting used to the weather, just being in a brand new city where you don't know anybody. So that took some getting used to. And I would say you can better prepare yourself for that by researching where you're going to live, making sure you're in an area that you feel comfortable, finding a good roommate, For me, I moved in with one of my classmates. So it's been a great experience living with one of my classmates because she understands my workload and we can bounce ideas back and forth about school. And also buying clothes that are appropriate for the city you're living in. In Florida, we wear flip-flops and shorts all year round, and it is not like that in DC. So that's important. And another really important thing that you can do, I would say the most important thing that you can do is forming a solid friend group. And this goes for college as well, not just dental school. I don't even think I would have survived as long as I did in dental school if I didn't have the friend group that I have. So, you form study groups and they support you and you exchange notes back and forth. And it's just really important to have a solid friend group while you're going through something like this. And also, you need to focus on your didactic courses to build a good foundation. As when you're a dentist, you're not just a dentist. A lot of people think dentistry, it's just teeth. I just need to know about the teeth, but that's not true. You're a doctor. So you need to know about everything. You need to know about the full body. You need to know all anatomy, biology, micro, all of those things are important because you do have that doctor title before your name. And it's important for your patients for you to do your due diligence and understand everything. So like I said, this is the schedule for the D1 class at Howard. As you can see, you take 24 credit hours. In college, it's only on average 12 credit hours. So in dental school, you're doing double what you're doing in college. So it is very time consuming. It is very difficult. And you're taking a lot of very hard science classes and you're on campus Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. And you're sitting in one classroom all day as the teachers migrate in and out in between the classes and you only get 10-minute breaks in between each class. So you definitely have to mentally prepare yourself for this because I've never experienced anything like this in college. Dental school is just a whole nother beast. Also, for me, considering we had so many classes, we had so many assignments, we had so many different teachers that had different expectations of us, it was helpful for me to use a planner. Some people like to have physical planners that they write things down. For me, I like to use Google Calendar because I always have my laptop or my iPad or my phone on me. So Google Calendar worked the best and you're not having to cross things out or erase. You can just, move things around, delete things. It's more organized in my opinion to use Google Calendar, but everybody's different. I'm more like into using technology than paper, but like I said, everybody's different. And also an important thing to do your first year is to join organizations, to get to know new people, to create balance in your life, as well as making your what's the right word? I guess just like making yourself a more balanced applicant for when you are going to apply for residency. So the same thing with the didactic courses, keeping your grades up is important because you don't know your first year whether you want to specialize or if you just want to be a general dentist. So you want to make sure that you're setting yourself up to be able to do whatever you want to do. You don't want to look back your third year or your fourth year and be like, wow, I should have tried harder or joined more organizations because now I don't know if I'm going to be able to get in. So start from the beginning, make sure that you keep your grades up and do everything that you need to do so that you're not limiting yourself in the future. And it's also really important to find a mentor because it might feel like and at the time, sometimes it feels like, oh, this is so hard and it's impossible, but other people have done it. So it's good to look towards people that have gone through this experience and ask them for advice and learn from them. Also, these people that you're making relationships with in the beginning can also write you letters of recommendation for the future. And pretty much everything that I said today goes for your first year of college, in my opinion, not just your first year of dental school. Keep your grades up, join organizations, and find a mentor. So the second year is a little bit less about didactics, but you're still doing your didactic courses, but you're also adding in the laboratory component. First off, you need to pass your board exam. There's 2 board exams there's 2 written board exams in dental school so that you can get your license to practice. So that's something that you're going to be studying for. You're also going to continue to solidify your leadership roles. So maybe the first year you just decided to do secretary of your class, and then this year you're going to run for president or something like that. You also want to keep up with your community service, maybe go on a mission trip. Also work on perfecting your hand skills. This is some of the work that I did when I was in my second year. So the first one is a crown prep. The one to the right, what am I doing over there? I was doing a restoration. And then the bottom left, I was setting teeth for dentures. And the bottom right, that is just my classmates going over. We're checking each other's work. Like I said, it's really important to have good friends that can help move you along and keep you accountable. Also, your second year, you want to start looking into different specialties. The different specialties in dentistry, if you don't already know, you can look them up on the ADA website, but they are orthodontics, periodontics, prosthodontics, pediatric dentistry, oral surgery, anesthesiology, pathology, public health, radiology. There's 2 more, but I can't remember them off top. They were just added. But yeah, those are the different specialties. So you want to be shadowing at the clinics that are in your dental school to kind of figure out, do any of these fit me? And if you're not interested in specializing, that's fine, because if you do general dentistry, you get to do all of those things. General dentists can do Invisalign. They can place brackets if they want to. They can do endo treatment. They can work with kids. You can do everything as a general dentist. So you don't have to specialize. It's just an option. Okay, D3 year. You want to make a list of interesting, well, I wanted to make a list of interesting residency programs since I do want to specialize. So how I decided on where I want to go is based on cost, location, if it's a reputable program, talking to different people about how they felt about being in the program. There's a bunch of different factors about residency. And like I said, if you want to be a general dentist, you can go straight to work right after the 4 years, or you can do a GPR or an AGD, which is an advanced education in general dentistry. So if you feel maybe you're not ready to go straight to work right after school, then you can do a 2-year program where you work under someone else's license. So you still have a teacher. You are a dentist, but you're working, you're still learning, I guess. It's just an extended version of dental school in a sense, just to make sure you're ready to start working. And also for me, I need to budget for the application cycle. Same thing with college. When you guys apply to college, it's very expensive. Taking all your board exams or your SAT and your ACT and applying to different schools. So that's something that you want to consider budgeting for. You want to solidify relationships with faculty and mentors. You can learn a lot from people that have been through what you've been through. And you want to help them know your qualifications so that they can write you a proper letter of recommendation. Because I've heard horror stories about teachers or faculty writing bad letters of recommendation. Like, oh, this person was really nice, but I can't really speak on them clinically. I've only seen or whatever. So don't go to someone that doesn't really know you or someone that could potentially say something bad about you. Make sure that your letter writers you have a good relationship with your letter writers, because letters of recommendation are important when you're applying for programs. And also you can shadow at different practices so that you can get a letter of recommendation from a dentist outside of your school. And also I like shadowing at different practices because you can kind of see what it's like being a dentist in the real world, because dental school is kind of you're kind of just like in this little bubble, and it's not really exactly how the real world is. So it's nice to see how people are practicing outside of dental school. And then you can kind of pick up little things and be like, oh, this is how I want to run my practice, or I want to have this many operatories in my practice. Or you can see just what procedures you like the most, and that can also help you decide if you want to specialize or if you don't. And the last thing that I'm doing for my third year is getting comfortable seeing patients while completing my requirements for the third year. So this is my first year seeing patients. So it was definitely an adjustment from going from sitting in the classroom all day and reading about teeth and the body to actually performing these procedures. So that's what I'm working on right now. Okay, and then my fourth year, you are going to take the second part of your board exam, very expensive. Pass your licensure exam, even more expensive. And then you're going to apply for your residency programs. I'm going to start applying my summer of my fourth year, and applications and travel. You want to make sure that you have money for that. Some people work their third year, maybe like a part-time job. I feel like that it's a lot to work and go to dental school. I feel like dental school is a full-time job, but some people are able to do it. But I would say I would just budget my money correctly. Make sure that you're not spending on things that aren't unnecessary, so that you have money for when application cycle comes around. And also, you want to complete your senior book requirements, and you can't graduate unless you complete all of your requirements. So every school is different. My school, you have to do 50 restorations and 6 extractions and 4 treatment plans, like 8 cleanings. There's a bunch of requirements, but every school is different for how many requirements they expect of you. Okay, and these are my post-graduation plans. I was stuck between if I wanted to do ortho or I wanted to do peds, but I'm pretty sure I'm deciding on ortho. But this is the average debt for an orthodontic resident. I don't mean for all this to sound so depressing, but it really is very expensive. So money management is just so important. I can't emphasize that enough. And then after I finish my 2 to 3 year orthodontic residency, pediatrics is only 2 years. Ortho can be 2 or 3 years. Then I want to apply for an associate job. So that means I'm going to work under another dentist. So I'm not going to own the practice. I'm just going to work at the practice, maybe 4 days a week if I'm able to. Or you can work at multiple practices. So 2 days a week I work here, 1 day a week I work there, and I probably do that for a bit, and then work on repaying my loans. There's loan forgiveness after 20 years. I just learned that actually, but you still have to pay the interest on the loans. And then start a family, and then eventually buy into a group practice. That's something that I want to do personally. You can buy your own practice. You can you can buy someone else's practice after they retire. You can start your own practice from scratch. You can join a group practice where there's multiple dentists and you own a portion of it. There's a lot of different options. Or you can stay an associate and just work for somebody. There's a lot of different options for after you graduate, depending on the lifestyle that you want to live. Okay, and this is just an interview that I did with one of my mentors, another interview that I did with a different mentor, and I just left that in there just to show you guys how important it is to have a mentor and how important it is to have people that can help guide you through your educational experiences. And this is just a little quote. If the plan doesn't work, change the plan, but never change the goal. And that's it. Does anybody have any questions?
Thank you so much for your presentation. It means a lot. If anyone has any questions, please put them in the GroupMe chat, because I think that something's wrong with the YouTube live chat. And if we don't get any questions, I think we can sign off for tonight. We'll just wait a minute and see if anyone has any questions.
Okay.
So you did put your links in like the bottom of the screen, right? Like your
I can copy and paste this, and I can post it in the chat for you.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, and anybody feel free to reach out if you have any additional questions in the future, because I tried to not make this presentation like so irrelevant for you because I know you're in high school, so maybe some of this was just like, I'll worry about that later. But if maybe down the road you have more questions about dental school or the application process, then anybody can reach out to me, and I provided my email.
Yeah, thank you so much for joining us today. It means a lot because I was kind of confused about this whole process and you made it more easy and like made me understand better like what happens during dental school and like how much money is going in.
Yeah, no problem. And it was very nice meeting you. And thank you for allowing me to speak with you today.
Thank you so much for joining. I think we don't have any questions. Actually, we might. She said someone asked, "What is it like living in DC?"
Um, DC is fun. My roommate's laughing in the background. DC, because DC is fun if you're not in dental school. So it's hard to do things when you're just so busy with school. There's a lot going on in the city, so it could be easy to get distracted living here. There's so many different cultures and so many things to learn, the museums and the restaurants. It's been a, like, when I do get to go out, I've enjoyed it. I think DC is a great place to live. I still like the South a little bit more just because I'm biased, I'm from there, but DC is great.
Okay, it doesn't seem like we have any other questions.